Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are going to be having a war with Austria, I decided. But we're going to give it a second before we get into that. Oh, man. Brazil is... Settle down. Settle down, Vicky 3. Alright. Okay, here we go. Brazil is going to fight Belgium. That's wild. Well, we'll maybe get into something like that eventually, but for now, we're just doing what we're doing. So in order to get that done, we're going to need to build up some military capabilities. So we've got trench infantry and siege artillery. Sorry, this is a new session. We're working on radio, and that'll let us get NCO training, which is what we need for squad infantry. So Austria, what are you working with? You've got the same. And you have machine guns. Ooh, don't like that you have machine guns. We are outpacing you on overall strength, but still not great. Alright, well. So we need to do that. I'm just going to double check. Oh, actually, I've got access to a new production method here. And this says it's going to make these railroads much more productive. How much steel have we got in the system? We're doing very well on steel overall. Steel's pretty far down here, and it's pretty close to even on cost, and this is going to reduce the cost of wood significantly. So I think that's going to help a lot. Now, to have access to the electric fences method, how much electricity do I have in the system? Quite a bit. We are definitely going to do that eventually. But we need to get more electricity built up before we can properly make use of that. That said, I think I just reduced the amount of infrastructure I've got access to in quite a few places. So we'll build up some levels here in Kansai. We're still a little short here in Yangzhou. How are we with employment in Yangzhou? We've got very little. We can definitely increase employment here. And then we're going to go ahead and build up some more levels of barracks, because that's definitely something I want to work on. Oh, we're close to short on infrastructure in a bunch of these places, huh? Alright, yeah. Oh boy. We're really riding close here. I'm just going to give it 2 levels to all of the core. The whole core, and more in Kansai. Alright, let's get us going. And then after that, we'll just get ourselves 10 levels of military anywhere there's significant unemployment, which is most of these states. Cool. That should help us out quite a bit. This is escalating again. Italy sides with Pontianak. I will do the same. Probably should have waited until Italy got done with. That's okay. I'm going to activate conscripts in the usual locations. I'm actually going to activate conscripts elsewhere as well. Just get the ball really rolling here. So where have we got fronts? We got a front over here between Italy and Austria. So let's get one general down here. I'm going to pause us here. One here. Control Kodama, you're my best offensive general. You're pretty good too. You're pretty okay. You're going to go to what also might be considered the main front here in Italy. I'm going to grab a couple of generals. So you're in Manchuria, and you're in Japan. Oh, let's get conscription going in Manchuria as well. We'll do 2 states. Alright. I should be ready to fight that war pretty soon. Gonna have you... I got my fleets on escort convoys where I want them. And these barracks are already being built by the excess construction capacity. The investment pool is still gaining cash at a rapid rate, so I think we're just going to go ahead and continue to boost up our construction sector. And then we'll do... Maybe Belgian states backs down. France and the USA are rivals. So that'll bring us up. Let's do 2 more levels. Each of these states in Korea. Some of these places could definitely use a little bit more infrastructure as well. So let's go ahead and build that. And I already built a bunch in Yangzhou, so that shouldn't be a problem. Quite a few different countries are declaring neutrality. Alright, and now it is... now it is just Austria's decision whether to back down or fight. Again, I'm not putting any troops on the Russian frontier because I just don't think Russia has the capacity to win this. I'm gonna get another one of my... There's the war. I'm gonna get another one of my generals on the main front here. Make sure that Italy stays in this thing and we continue to be offensively minded. I've already got units here. I already got units here. You're advancing. And there are enemy generals at, I think, both of these fronts now. Oh, not that one. Cool. Alright, so you're going to come back. Well, no, we'll leave you here for the moment so that we can overwhelm and close out this front. As you can see, this is very quickly going to get done. You get more and more units in here. As we get more and more units in here, this will go better and better. So this is Mitsue Uko and Yoshika Yamamoto. We're on this front. I think, in fact... Well, the enemy's got 179 battalions on the way here. So if we can close it out before they get here, then we should be good to go. And if not, then we'll have a problem. But we closed it out. Cool. So, pause that. You can go ahead and go to... Again, what I see is the main front. I'm going to declare Austria as my strategic objective. And then Yamamoto, I'm going to put you here as well. And then let's go ahead and have you escort convoys to Italy so that we can make sure that our units get there in good time. We're almost done with our railway expansion, so that should save us a lot of cash. In fact, our cash flow situation is already doing a little better. We're currently spending about 300k on construction. I could probably invade over here. Actually, that's a good call. Gonna invade with who? Mitsune, where are you? Okay, you're already on a front. Let's go with Yoshinobu Oku. And we'll see if we can land there. I don't know if that's going to be successful, but we'll see if we can create ourselves a front and just go ahead and rush it down. And then we'll be good to go. And how many troops? Oh boy. French Republic, what are you doing? Siamese Peasant Revolt. Doesn't concern me at all. Or it really kind of does, but it is what it is. We have 22 superiority, and I've got 250 additional battalions on the way. So that should make that front much more palatable for us. Oh my goodness, radical Spain, are you doing a big communism over there? You are cybernetic state. Oh my gosh, that's bananas. Council professionals appointed by representatives of the technical organs of the socialist state. So that's, yeah, technocratic socialism. That's wild. That's a wild time. Italy is also fighting a peasant revolt in Baroda. I'm not involving myself in that. There's an uprising in Akan. Everything's going wild all over the world. We are spending quite a bit of cash here. I'm leaving it at middle taxes for the moment. And we're going to see how things go going forward. Again, I'm hoping we can get this war closed out in a reasonable amount of time. Austria's fighting Russian ships here, which is not great. How's my naval invasion? 1 week. Who knows how long that's actually going to be going for, but USA is... Oh, that's right. USA and Pontianak are in a separate war that I am involved in? No, that I'm not involved in, somehow. Things are wild over there, friends. They're absolutely bonkers. Delicious bananas wild. And Philippines is in a customs union with us. That's what we want. Filipino peasant revolt. Austria is still winning this war. And this should be the radio. So, there won't be demand for radios right away, but I think they should be getting here pretty soon. So, I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, we're just going to set you to producing radios, and we'll see how that goes. Social Security investment has increased. That's very good. Where are we with power? We're still not great with power. So let's go ahead and build us some more power plants. We got a bunch here in Kansai and Chubu. Obviously, we don't have much unemployment at all in these places. Let's go ahead and build up 10 levels in Gyeonggi here. Oop. Pausing. Hold on. Power plants. It's going to cost us some cash, but that's okay. And excuse me, what just happened with... There's a rebellion... There's a bunch of hamburgers are rebelling, and Brazil has sided with the hamburgers against the rebel hamburgers. Alright, cool. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding that correctly. I'm building up more power so that I can... And frankly, we're going to need more power even than this. So we're going to boost up power infrastructure in Kansai by 10 levels. And we're going to throw a couple of rolls of railways in there as well, just for good measure. And that's going to help us get our various things powered. I think there's... Do I have the production method for logging camps? I do. And I'm going to do this right away, because this is going to make my logging camps much, much more productive. It's going to cost us a ton of power. That's going to make our power extremely expensive, but that's why we're building up all those power plants. The Annam Mekong front. I don't like that that's a front. Excuse me? Ah. Completely unrelated conflict. Cool. Yamamoto, you've successfully invaded this Austrian territory here. I'm going to put you down here so that you can assist Dainam in the Vietnamese proletarian revolt. So, does Austria have war support protection? They should not, because we have taken some territories, and they haven't taken any of Pontianak yet. So despite the fact that they are losing war support much slower than Pontianak is, because Pontianak is partially occupied. Wait a minute, hold up. Because Pontianak is partially occupied by the USA in a different war. Oh man, that's wild. Which they just lost, so they're now a puppet of the USA, and they're in the American market. So this war if Pontiac loses, then they won't be able to be puppeted because that war goal is no longer available, because all of this is bananas. Are any of my battalions participating in here? What the heck? These are skirmish infantry battalions. Italy, please, please tell me you're not running skirmish infantry. Italy, please tell me you're not running skirmish infantry. Oh my goodness. Italy's way behind technologically. That's why this war is going really badly for them. Golly gee willikers, am I the only one who doesn't want Austria to win this thing? Is this just me? Am I the only one carrying our whole side here? Well, at least Pontiac is not losing war support nearly as fast now. So hopefully we should be able to crack this. I'm going to go ahead and increase the game speed a bit. Just get this knocked right out. I'm going to be on this side for this war, and I'm aligned already, right? Yes. Uprising in a Khan, we knew about that already. Hamburger War is about to go off. And Austria is defending here. Alright, so we're losing on the attack at least. Put me in, coach. Let me get my modern battalions fighting in here. Alright. So that should mean my proper troops will be involved in the next engagement, I hope. That's a lot of Austrian troops, but I've got a lot of troops here as well, so that should be a proper win. I feel like Sulu... I feel like I need to just stop being involved in Sulu. I swear. This situation... I feel like Sulu can never not... Okay, so the capitalist revolt is all of Sulu this time, so I'm going to need to naval invade. Sulu has never pulled many battalions away from my main war, but it has also never pulled none. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking about letting them go. Like, there's the Vietnamese proletarian revolts. I am not much concerned about this war at all. Yep, we're still on defense, still doing an absolutely crazy amount of damage to Austrian forces. And I'm going to switch up my production methods for naval bases that I just unlocked. This is the destroyers method. It costs additional ammunition and ironclads, but it's going to make my escorts much better. Destroyer warfare. Wonderful. Destroyer and protector. Heihachiro Togo has made use of destroyer ships in the ongoing conflict, teaching us much about how they are best utilized. So I understood torpedo boat destroyer is the more accurate name? Not at all. I believe they can be designed to destroy all kinds of things. No one will dare attack our convoys soon. Reduced convoy requirement. They make up an important part of our fleet's navy defense. I'm going to go with defense. We're in the middle of a war here. Another revolution in North Germany. And one in Mahra as well. Nothing I need to be concerned with. I'm just going to go ahead and declare neutrality in these diplomatic plays. These are not going to affect me in any meaningful way. USA is going after Lucca. Which, you know, more power to you, I guess. We're still in the tail end of this battle. Again, this mechanic is not going to come back in the new update, but right now we are advancing. How does it look? Ooh, not great. Got a lot of low-quality Italian troops here. 80 battalions, dragging down our average defense. So even though we've got a lot of high-tech troops from Japan, it's just not working over there. So, that is what it is. But I think we can still win this. We've got war support protections. We don't have war support protection. There's the Sulu Capitalist Revolt. Still, they're losing war support a lot faster than our side is, so I'm not too worried about that. So, we're going to do a naval invasion here using our smallest general. Russia is likely to bail out of this war reasonably soon, I think. They have 33 war supports. They're in for another 16 weeks. But honestly, I think that'll be fine. That's quite a bit of war support loss on Austria's part, and if we can continue to pound them on this front, we'll be doing just fine. Again, they do not have war support protection. They're trying to get a transfer of Baroda from Austria. Hey, that's the end of it. Wonderful. So now, of course, we have to deal with our other two wars. Let's grab all of our extremely mobilized armies and send them to deal with these other situations. Alright. Increase the speed here once again. I'm gonna not demobilize because I think it'll be faster to just not demobilize. 2 weeks until until Rokuro Jutoku's army arrives in Sulu to assist against the, once again, rebellion of the industrialists. And that's the construction queue finished. So now, pretty soon we should have enough power to electrify the fences around our livestock ranches. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's going to make those buildings a little bit more productive once our power plants come online and start producing all of that tasty, tasty power. Do I have rubber in my market? Because I could produce a lot more luxury clothes if I did. Rubber. Drop us down to speed 3 here. Not in too much of a rush. Yes, but I'm not using much of it. That's a surprise. Well, I can definitely use more of it. Let's get going with this. Let's not switch all of our textile mills at one time. Let's see how that impacts the profitability, and we'll go from there. So these mills are now hiring. Okay. Hire up, get producing more luxury clothes. Cool. That's the Vietnamese proletarian revolt sorted out. We're winning this war without committing much effort to it, so we should be good to go. Let's export some... Excuse me? Trade interface? You wanna get going? Okay, there we go. Let's throw some luxury clothes at Brazil, some at Mexico, some at Peru, Bolivia, some at Burma. That should be enough to get us started. And then we'll start increasing the automation of increasing the elastics use in our other factories. So how has that affected our rubber situation? It's affected it pretty okay. We're still... Rubber production is still going up to meet with the increased demand. So let's switch over the ones in Kansai as well. That's tanked the profitability of the ones in Chubu because we're now producing even more luxury clothes. But trade is expanding to meet the increased output. So let's sell in Europe and America. And then eventually we'll be able to have enough to flip over all of them. This is actually more than half at this point. So, where are we with rubber? Rubber is being increased even as we speak. I assume... I should probably double check on that. Where my rubber productive capacity is. Hold on. There's got to be... Resources. Rubber... Where's rubber? Agriculture? Am I crazy? Okay, well, there's got to be some reasonable way to see who in my customs union is producing those things. Portugal, you're going after Surakarta. Really? Really? Portugal, how can you do this? How can you do this? I'm in the middle of a war. They're trying to puppet Surakarta. And I need to fight them about it. I need to fight for them about it. Alright, so we're going to set this to speed up. We're going to hope that this war gets done before this pops off so that I can reconfigure my mobilization. Okay, Russia is helping us out with that. Perfect. That makes our finances much better. So, do I think Russia can fight Portugal? Portugal. You are a technocratic presidential republic. You've got 3 states, 56 battalions. What kind of tech are you using for your battalions? Nothing too impressive. I think Russia can handle that. Which is good, because I've got to relax and rebuild my finances, which are still pretty difficult. Alright, defense in depth is getting unlocked. We're hurtling towards bolt actions at an alarming rate. And once that's done, we can get... Oh. So, actually, let's make ourselves a little calculation here. So, if I do bolt action, that's 23 months, and then presumably another 23 months for automatic machine guns. On the other hand, if I move straight into NCO training, it's going to cost 6 years. Yeah, I still think it's worth it to get started with this other stuff first. Oh, but I want it so bad. I want it so bad. What do I have spreading to me? It's got to be war propaganda, right? And we'll find out in a second, I suppose. Come on. Come on, tell me what's spreading. Tell me what's spreading. Do I seriously not have a military tech spreading to me right now? Unless it is bolt actions. It's not. I do not have a military tech spreading to me right now. That's a tragedy. I'm tragified. Portugal backs down. Wonderful. It's a real shame that I can't get more innovation than I've currently got. Because I sure would love to be able to increase all that other stuff. Let's get them all going on elastics. What does that do to our rubber situation? It's not great. Who can we get rubber from? Plenty of people. Java, for example. And Brazil. And Ashanti. And the Netherlands. Alright, so we'll be importing a lot of rubber for our textile industry, and that'll be good. The nerds want landed voting, but I am not about to just tell Emperor Meiji that he's got to share power with other people. That's not a sensible thing to do. We do have a movement for or we don't have a movement. Commercialized agriculture would be solid. That would increase the number of capitalists in control of our farms. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll go straight ahead and do it. Philosophical pragmatism. That's nice. Where are we with infamy? We're pretty reputable. I don't feel comfortable going to war right now with the money situation that I'm currently in. Still, I sure wish a lot of these countries would be willing to be my puppets, particularly you, Dainan. I was always thinking that you and I would be able to have the friendship of the kind that I would like to have. But it is not to be. Yagikarta backed down. I don't know what that caused. They were puppeted by Austria. Gosh, I wasn't even paying attention over here. British Republic's going after Nade. Capitalist revolt in Burma. Hold on, am I involved in this? No. Okay. Well, I can go ahead and declare neutrality. This is a rebellion in communist Holstein. This is an uprising in... is a Messina uprising in Songhai. Which is over here. There's a Songhai uprising in Messina. And that's it. No, that's not that. I'm not right about this at all. Where are you? Messina. You're over here. Okay, I'm not. This concerns me not at all. 0% concern. British Republic going after Nade. Only if it affects other things. Your America is crushing a secession movement in Africa, I believe. Yes, here we go. Oh, in Liberia. Interesting. There's the steam turbine. So, that's going to get us access to a lot more power, but it's going to cost us a lot of coal, and that is not something I can live with unless I can really decrease, unless I can really replace things that are using coal with using power. So let's look into that. These electrics industries publicly traded. The big thing for power is electric streetlights. I'm currently on unlit streets, which is not producing any additional services. Electric streetlights would be great, but I need an absolutely bananas amount of power to make that happen. So for now, we're not. Is there anywhere else we can use... Oh, I can use more transport to make my oil rigs more automated. That's rad. Alright, well, I don't think that's going to be possible. So at the moment, I have to either build up a bananas amount of power infrastructure myself, or I need to go ahead and work on and live with not having that for now. Total top-down management. The industrialists have taken an interest in commercialized agriculture. Many industry leaders hope to secure the entire supply chain for their companies. Gentlemen, I present to you a model for the future. Honjolandia. This diorama, produced from pieces of this project, aims to capture the whole production chain. Cut out the middleman, as the high street peddlers like to say. Okay. You enjoy that, Scandinavia. We own the farms to feed the workers, the mines to supply our furnaces, and the cotton for our uniforms. One holistic chain, focusing on the sale and distribution of our final product. Questions? Middle managers will be a thing of the past. It's just 2%, 15% enactment chance and 2 industrialist approval. The workers will need additional protections, 10% enactment chance, but the trade unions get happy and the industrialists get mad. I'll take it if the industrialists are mad, but I don't care if the trade unions are mad. An interesting proposal, we're taking it. We're taking it. Oh, industrialists get big mad, and then we get command economy pop support. I don't think this is actually of any use to us right now, or indeed ever. Well, hold on one sec. We need to invent central planning, and someone needs to support it. We don't have to be a council republic, so we could have some kind of king's economy. That would be a very interesting move to have the entire economy managed personally by Emperor Meiji and his bureaucracy. That would be a fun one. That having been said, I don't think we need that. We'll just go ahead and do this first one to get the enactment chance that we desire. And we'll get going from there. Again, I'm continuing to not build because I don't need to be building right now. Unemployment is pretty low, actually. I can live with the low unemployment. We're not spending that much on welfare payments at all. Actually, almost none. Virtually none. That's quite good. It's quite good. Oh, Portugal, you fools. Why would you go and pick a fight with Tidor? You know this is going to create a problem for you, Portugal. Sadly, I cannot get a chunk of Portugal out of this situation. Peasant revolt in a I'm just going to mobilize the generals at this point. I'm going to have some smaller generals move to a set to help out, cover that situation. The peasant revolt has how many battalions? 12 total? Okay, so that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. We're not going to start conscription, because I don't think Portugal can muster enough troops to necessarily create a problem with me over this. I was all about to go to Thailand about it, and then Russia was like, "I'll help you, Portugal." Lol, JK, I will not. Wonderful. Popular playwright endorses the reform. In the midst of the debate surrounding commercialized agriculture, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the industrialists, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically-laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. I'm going to ensure that the play gets a wider international audience, increasing my renown. I am actually within spit and distance of overtaking the United Syndicates of America in prestige and becoming the number 3 world power. It is baffling to me that with Russia's low tech, they're above the USA and me. But I think I'll be able to get there without too much difficulty by not doing much except increasing the size of my armed forces. Let's go ahead and do that. But let's do the barracks. I'm going to go ahead and put 5 additional levels in each state in Korea. And then we're actually pretty low on unemployment basically everywhere in the heartland, which is really surprising. I thought we were pretty high on unemployment, but apparently I'm just straight up wrong about that. Oh gosh, we need pneumatic tools. We can get more hardwood from. Give me all your hardwoods, nerds. Hey, Portugal back down. Wonderful. Oh boy, something else is happening over here. Another rebellion in Baroda. France is going after Wellega, and I am supporting them. Shame. I'm still mobilized, right? Yes. Yes, I am. So, France, how many battalions have you got? You've got quite a few battalions. Oh boy. They're infamous. I wonder if this is the Paris Commune, France. Gosh, I do not have the kind of money to be waging a long-term war right now, but it is what it is. We've got to get going. Let's mobilize all of Korea for this one, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to leave all of our generals in Japan. There's The rebellion in Asseh is kicking off. So actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put generals in area codes. You're from the Japan HQ, you're from the Japan HQ. You're from the Manchu HQ. So, you're going down here as well. And then, I want to leave one general at the Manchuria HQ. So that'll be good to go, and then we'll grab one general from the Japan HQ to support Asseh right now. Not that I think that's going to be critical. Both sides are uncertain. France wants to transfer just a barrel full of puppets from me. A bunch of people are neutral in this other war. Commercialized agriculture rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Shigeto Honjo, leader of the industrialists... No, Honjoland. Honjoland. He was the guy who... That's the peasant revolt. He was the guy who had built that vertically integrated diorama situation. He delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of commercialized agriculture. Making an appearance before the public in Edo's main square, Shigeto Honjo's powerful rhetoric left his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across Japan, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly. Performances like this reflect well on Honjo and his cause. I'm going to go... How old are you, Honjo? How much does increasing your popularity matter? You're 63. So potentially not that much. I'm going to just ease the path to reform. I might need to mobilize more troops for this. But for now, let's get escorting convoys to Willega. So this... and Russia is supporting Willega as well. You know, Russia and I, we're doing better than we've been doing, even though they sided against me for a little bit. The Philippines. Let's have a defensive pact. Cool. Tidor. Let's have a defensive pact. Russia abandoned Willega. Gosh, Shaggy, that doesn't make me very happy. I think we're going to need to activate some conscripts in Japan. Well, hold on. How badly do we actually need to win this? Because they need to take either part of Japan. Yeah, I need to activate conscripts in Japan in order to make this happen. We'll just go with the big three, though. The places where I am always doing a big conscription. And then we should have... Actually, you're going to go over here. And I'm going to grab Kodama and also bring him over to this front. And that way we'll have just an absolute superiority of force over in this area. Michisura Yamamoto, you are going to get promoted. And then you're going over to the front. The main front. Since, again, this whole situation is going to be sorted out within a matter of weeks. Defamatory article. A newspaper called the Kyushu Bulletin has printed a bigoted article about the Han people living there. We can suppress the article or we can let it be released. Absolutely vile lies, the lot of it. That won't matter to those who read it, though. They'll eat it up. Suppress it or ignore it. Suppress it costs us 5% authority. Ignore it gives us -1 standard of living modifier for Han people in Kyushu. That's 10,000 people. That's not going to affect. Sorry, Han people. We're doing big realpolitik over here. All right, so that's everyone, you're in the Japan HQ. You're defending the Manchuria HQ. So that should be good to go. We got all our troops on the way. It's been a warlike episode, but in the next one there's going to be even more war with France. A war which is about to pop off. With that having been said, though, that's all we've got time for in this episode. I have had a good time. I hope you have had a good time as well, and I will see you all on the other side.